Well, this work that we're doing in Brazil, we have today a partnership with a church in southern Brazil. PIBA is an acronym. It means the First Baptist Church of Atibaia. In 2006 or 7, I'm not sure when it was, but PIBA began a ministry focused on training leaders. And we were invited in 2008 to be a piece of what they are doing. We started with 12 men, meeting 2 times a year. Between times of meeting with them twice a year, they would go out and train other pastors. That's what we train men to do. We not only train them to preach God's word with God's heart, we train them to go out and train other pastors. And today, in 2012, PIBA will have 46 groups of pastors being trained, reaching 900 pastors. Now, I want to put that in perspective for you. Leadership Resources around the world has a little over 20 training venues. In 4 years in Brazil, it has multiplied to 46. PIBA is actually looking beyond their borders. They want to reach all of Brazil. In fact, if you go to these next slides, in São Paulo alone, São Paulo State, this is the city, but in São Paulo State, the next slide, these are the regions, strategic regions of the first, I believe these are the first 12 that we trained in São Paulo State. They're moving to a state, 2 states up to Bahia. Let's go to the next slide. Into Bahia. Wouldn't you like to go there? And the next slide. So they're launching, and they want to hit from these training centers, they're going to reach the whole state of Bahia. And then the next slide up here too, Rio de Janeiro. You all know Rio de Janeiro. That's northwest of where we work in São Paulo. And we've got a couple strategic trainings that are going on there. But that's not the limitation of where PIBA has their sights set. They have their sights set on all of Brazil. They have asked us to consider going to Cuba with them because they are ministering in Cuba. So they have asked us to partner. In fact, later on, at the beginning of 2012, we are going to have a Cuba summit with some other interested parties to see how we could actually see a ministry grow in Cuba, this closed country on our doorstep. They've asked us to go to China with them. We've already got to work in China, but now they're reaching out to China. They have a businessman who wants to fund TNT in China. And so not from Chicago, but from Atibaia, São Paulo, Brazil, a TNT is going to be launched in China, hopefully next year. And then we have 2 men in our second group who have gone to Angola and Mozambique over in Africa. And they have taken TNT training over there and have started to train others on missions trips from their churches. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that wonderful?